Homocysteine is one of the simplest blood tests that links heart and brain health. High levels means your body is not clearing homocysteine efficiently. Today I'll show you the methylation pathways that clear it beyond just the MTHFR gene that a lot of people talk about. The labs to check so that you can move the number in the right direction. Before we get into genes, here's why homocysteine matters. Homocysteine is a normal byproduct of protein metabolism. When your body doesn't clear it well, the levels rise, and this can irritate the lining of the blood vessels, leading to potential clots and oxidative stress. And that's linked with a risk of heart disease and brain problems over time. The reference range is 0 to 15, but the optimal range is between 5 and 8, and at least you want to be below 10. And high levels of homocysteine are linked to a number of things, like cardiovascular risk, especially coronary and carotid plaque, heart attack and stroke, brain and nerve damage, leading to things like cognitive decline, memory issues, neuropathy, and even some migraines. Even things like osteoporosis and macular degeneration are linked with high homocysteine levels over time. Often you don't experience any symptoms at all, but that does not mean that the oxidative stress is not slowly happening on the inside. If your B vitamins are low, you may notice things like fatigue and brain fog or low mood, tingling if it's severe. So the things that lead to high homocysteine is low folate, B12, B6, potentially low choline, betaine, kidney issues, thyroid issues, certain medications, smoking, and just as we get older. The good news is that we can measure homocysteine, though many doctors don't, and then make some changes and then retest. I'll show you how to lower homocysteine, starting with the 3 routes that clear homocysteine and the genes beyond MTHFR that make this possible. Methylation can be complicated, and it's involved in many different pathways, and it means a lot more than just this MTHFR gene, although that is important. Here's a simple explanation. Methylation is like handing out tiny tags to molecules so your body can switch things on or off and clean up used and old compounds. It uses folate, B12, choline, betaine, B6 across a few connected pathways. And if there's a blockage or a slowdown in one of these pathways, homocysteine rises. It's not important to understand all of the different pathways in detail, and you can see the MTHFR gene on this methylation map. But there are also many other genes involved in this pathway, and using the self-decode genetic report, it helps to guide you on the best way to treat, and it breaks it down using simple language. Have you ever had your MTHFR gene tested? Leave a comment below if you've been told you need to take more methyl B vitamins. Just because you've got the gene, it doesn't mean you need extra B vitamins. You also need to check other genes in the pathway. For example, when I started taking methyl B vitamins, it created a lot of anxiety, and this is something I'd never experienced before. And this is because I had not taken into account the COMT gene. So just because you have the MTHFR gene, it doesn't mean you need methyl B vitamins. Check with your labs first. Now let's focus on what to test and how to lower homocysteine. Of course, start with testing your homocysteine levels, but also check B12 and potentially MMA, which is the cellular levels of B12, folate, vitamin B6, vitamin B2, choline, betaine, and these can be checked in the Vibrant Wellness micronutrient test. Once you get the test results, you'll know which B vitamins or other nutrients you may need. It could be folate, it could be vitamin B12, or B6 if it's the transsulfuration pathway. TMG and choline help to support the second route, and riboflavin, especially if you carry certain MTHFR variants, is sometimes more important than folate and B12. And this is what worked the best for me to lower my homocysteine levels. Your self-decode report will even show you what you should be prioritizing, what vitamins, nutrients, and even the lab markers that you should track to see what the best things would work for you would be. The best options to test, make some changes, and then recheck and check your levels. And if you want a genetics guided overview, I use the self-decode methylation report. They have thousands of different reports on all different health topics. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to find out more about self-decode and the genetic tests that they offer. And if you have not checked genetics, that's okay. You can still focus on the tests and the best way to treat. And for a more detailed video on treatment options for homocysteine, I'll leave a link in the description to my other video, which is more focused on homocysteine treatment options. Let me know if you've got any questions or comments, and I'm happy to answer them.